Hello, everybody! Cyanesk111 here, and welcome back to more Civilization VII as Catherine the Great. I founded my first distant land settlement of Plovdiv, and already it is producing some valuable treasure convoys, worth 2 points for right now. But it's the militaristic legacy path I'm really after, and I've made very little progress so far, because I've yet to find any distant land settlements belonging to other civs. But I suppose I can fix that by getting some more naval units on the map and having them search the seas far and wide for any. We're almost halfway to the end of the age, though, so I'd better pick up the pace. I am going to start off with a granary for Plovdiv, though. And it will go right over here. I want the City Hall district available for anything I can overbuild going into the modern age. I do want to consider going for some other Legacy Path milestones too, like the Enlightenment, where you have to have a certain number of districts that are not city centers reach 40 or more yield totals. I might have a chance with either Preslav or Roma. More so with, I believe, Roma. But I don't know if there's any way I can check to see. I could look at this menu. But it doesn't look like I can see how much yields each of these tiles are producing from this map, unless I were to gain a population in either city. I will support for some more happiness, despite the fact that I am getting pretty close to another celebration. Okay, it's celebration time again. Oh, I forgot about my Shwe Dagon Zedi Da, but it's almost completed. It'll get me +4 science and +1 wildcard attribute point. That's definitely going to be helpful, since I can place it on any attribute tree I want. I'm wondering how many more buildings I can overbuild. I can overbuild both buildings in this tile and the academy in this one. I think the university is an overbuild. It is, I think, so I'm gonna do +30% production towards overbuilding for 10 turns. Let's do... I think I'm gonna do Colonial Surplus for +1 production adjacency for production buildings. That's nice to have.
I teach only suffering and the end of suffering.
Well, I'll be... Isn't it grand? We got all these lanterns going up into the sky. Where they will fall, no one knows.
A bureaucracy.
We also got bureaucracy completed on top of that. More importantly, what's my wildcard point going to go towards? I do want to... I do want specialists to be improved at some point. but I can't access either of them on the cultural or scientific trees yet. How am I doing? I've got more science per turn than culture, so I think I am going to do +5 culture per age in cities with at least 1 wonder. And the next cultural attribute point I get will go towards the specialist thing. I think I'm gonna do diplomatic service next. Okay, all this time and the university's still being built. I think it would help if I got another university in Preslav. I'm gonna have to build over this mine for that. But that's okay. Oh hey, we unlocked Qajar by having 1 settlement with at least 5 specialists. Cool. For that, I'm going to do Constitution. Plus 25% food and happiness towards maintaining specialists. That was from a civic that I unlocked earlier. That must have been bureaucracy. And it looks like that's all I can do for religion on the home front. I'm kind of thinking about settling somewhere up north of Ravenna before the other civs get to it. I think Genghis Khan may have gone as far north as he could, unless he decides to settle right over here to bridge the gap between his empire proper and the enclave that he has. Or the exclave, is what it's called. I think I'm gonna play it safe by getting medieval walls in Betet in case he declares war on me again. And maybe a hidden fortress too would do nicely. Set in stone that Betet belongs firmly to Bulgaria. Okay, my migrant has finally arrived in Plovdiv. I have both of these treasure resources being worked on, so what better thing to do than work my way towards this tea resource up here?
From the new land of
Metallurgy is completed. My next treasure convoy is ready to go. It's gonna have to go down to this island of Ohrid, like this other treasure convoy is. Napoleon opens markets with me. Consider it supported. And the technology I'd like to do next is... all of these are masteries. I think I'm gonna do the feudalism mastery for +1 food on farms, pastures, and plantations. It'll definitely get our growth up. Okay, the Tarkhan has arrived in Plovdiv. I'm gonna have him rest for right now. It costs slightly less to convert to a city, but I still think the cost could be lower if I had more population. So that means our university's completed. Power and knowledge, art and beauty are better refined in the classroom. We've got our scientific attribute point ready to go. And had I used that wildcard point from earlier on either this or this, then I would have had this by now. But still, it had to go here since I was doing slightly worse on culture than science. I think I'm going to put the scientific attribute point towards 20% gold and happiness towards maintaining buildings. That would equal more profits for me. I think it would be right if I got a kiln in here. It's going to overbuild the monument, but it is for more science. Or...
The king is
okay, just had to make sure that they weren't being targeted for me. And now... I think the time has come for me to do metal casting next. So I can upgrade the Bolyars to tier 3 someday. I know that there is a naval unit I can put on the map that can auto-explore. I think that's the privateer. But again, with the pirate ability, it could be in danger of getting attacked en masse. I'll do it anyways. I said I'd get some more naval units down. Now I am gonna get some more naval units down. It only just takes these 2 turns. Alright. Auto-explore time. I did have the option for plundering the trade ship belonging to Xerxes. But I didn't want to anger him. Especially considering that we have a friendly relationship now. I'm gonna get a second privateer down to be on the safe side in case that one gets done in. My first treasure convoy has arrived, with the second following closely behind. And soon to be a third.
Since words are not fun.
Diplomatic service is completed. And I got the T resource needed for another point added to the treasure convoy, and I unlocked Meiji Japan for improving 3T. Brilliant. I think I'm going to have Roma produce one more privateer, even though it's going to be 3 turns before it completes. Let's do charters next, for more gold adjacency on gold buildings. I wanted to purchase a fishing quay or a harbor, but I accidentally right-clicked. What do I want to do? I think a settler would be nice, since I still have the urge to settle just one more town up north. Though I doubt I'm going to have plans to turn it into a city.
The bellows worked incessantly.
Metal casting is completed. I'll do heraldry mastery next. My privateer in Roma's completed. And let's get some more medieval walls down. I don't know if medieval walls prevents the Temple of Jupiter and Basilica from being pillaged. But I'm sure they'll be relatively safe from invaders. Compared to the... what was I gonna say? compared to the districts without walls. Oh, poopy. We got a Category 4 hurricane on our hands.
I have collected all.
And it's right off the coast of Ohrid. Oh, dang. That's gonna be a problem if it ends up pillaging too many of my buildings. And improvements. But I think now would be a pretty good time to do theology next. It's only 4 turns to do.
Yes.
Heraldry has been mastered. Okay, it doesn't look like anything's been damaged so far. I can't really say the same for anything in Preslav because I'll have to repair the shipyard at some point. Gunpowder would be pretty nice. But I think I want to get some more masteries done first. Okay, the hurricane has dissipated, but it looks like it still caused damage to some of my buildings right here. Okay, looks like only the blacksmith was damaged. Still gonna have to repair all in Preslav. And here's my settler, at least. I could settle it right next to a volcano, though I don't think that would be a very good idea, given that it could erupt. Plus I'd be missing out on this Fox's resource right here. Yep, I would. I think right here would be a better bet for this settler to go. And then Preslav can go ahead and produce... what the heck. Let's go ahead and build some more medieval walls. Oh, hey. That's another milestone completed. This one is of the Enlightenment Legacy Path. So I do know for a fact that one of my districts that isn't a city center district is having 40 plus yield. But look at this. It looks like we have finally found our first settlement belonging to another civilization that's in distant lands. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade all 3 of my bolyars for 600 gold. Kinda cheap, but okay. Also, I think it would be a good idea if I got a trebuchet in too, in case any of the city centers I were to attempt to invade have walls. And metal casting is going to provide +3 combat strength for cavalry units, so I'll go ahead and do that as well. Wow, I'm doing so good on science right now. I might have all the main technologies researched by the time this age ends. But let's go ahead and do a guild hall next. We'll overbuild the academy. Why not give some of the other leaders a chance to catch up on technology? Theology has been completed. A letter from heaven. I think we've seen this one before. I am going to pass on the letter at once to get me slightly closer to a celebration. And the enhancer belief that I unlock is... I haven't been doing very good on relics, I do remember. I've only got 2. I think I am going to do millenarianism. Conquered settlements are converted to my religion. So I won't have to use any missionaries to convert any of them. Any of the ones that I conquer. I think it's time for me to go ahead and do civs. Yeah, civs. For +2 culture on hidden fortresses for each adjacent mountain terrain. And 2 migrants in the capital. That would be pretty good. I think I'm gonna do more medieval walls, because why not? It would make sense for Preslav, given that it is now the capital of my empire. Okay, so this cog belongs to Muara Jambi. But it's friendly towards us. I don't think I would want to go and initiate hostilities with that independent power, seeing that it is already friendly with us. It could become under someone else's suzerainty pretty soon, for all I know.
Close to the western summit, there is the dried and frozen carcass of a leopard. No one has explained what the leopard was seeking at that altitude.
That's Mount Kilimanjaro discovered. And on distant lands, too. And Al Fustat already has a settlement nearby. So I guess getting my own settlements there is off the table. Assuming that it is out of reach. Assuming that the entirety of the volcano is within Al Fustat's reach. That's what I meant to say. Don't know why I had a slip of the tongue there, but glad I saved it. I'm gonna get one more privateer in, so I can keep auto-exploring whatever I can. And my settler has arrived, so I don't see why not. Tarnovo is the name of the next settlement I have. Got me some iron, but it's only for infantry units to strengthen.
The bellows worked incessantly.
At some point, I'm gonna have to get some civics that'll increase my settlement limit, like colonialism mastery, imperialism, and sovereignty. So my happiness won't be reduced should I decide to go ahead and capture any opposing leaders' civs. Thank you for the gold once again, Napoleon. Do I want to denounce Xerxes just yet? I wonder. I still remember all the trouble I had getting my treasure convoys to my homelands safely, due to the warring that went on in the last game. But I am faring much better this time. Well, there we go. That proves that privateers are good for making the waters marginally safer. At least to me. Okay, the privateer's complete. I'm gonna have it auto-explore for any more distant land settlements belonging to other leaders. I'm thinking about doing one more settlement right up here, but that would just be wasting settlement space. I don't want to go over the limit unless I want to suffer a happiness penalty on all my settlements. I think I'll do a missionary instead of a settler. You know what I mean? Yeah, as I expected, Xerxes is en route to becoming Caesarion of Murara Jambi. This could be a bit of a problem. Would it be best if I were to go ahead and denounce... Huh, we are helpful. You know what? I don't think anything's gonna stop me. Unless I'm... Oh, crud. He is allied with Trung Track. But if I recall correctly, Trung Track did denounce me a couple of times all those turns ago, back in antiquity. I think I'm gonna go ahead and denounce Xerxes. But he rejects it. Huh. I don't know if that's ever happened to me before. Having a denouncement I initiate rejected. Huh. At least now you guys get to see what it's like for me. I'm at a loss of what to produce next in Preslov, so I'm just going to do a cultural festival. More settlements up there, but it looks like they're still in the homelands.
From the new land. You ask for what reason I stay on the Green Mountain. I smile, but do not answer.
Zhang Jiajie. That is a natural wonder we have discovered in the previous game, but never got around to settling towards, despite the fact that Isabella does take advantage of natural wonders to increase their yields. A bit arbitrary, but I wanted to work my way towards this turtle's bonus resource. I think I feel ready to do architecture by this point. Hopefully there's more settlements from other civs that I could do, actually. Looks like that is one right now. Is that a distant lands thing? Yeah, it is. Problem is, it only has this island that it's on. That's a bit gross, if you ask me. What use can I make of that? I discovered another tent camp at least. I'm gonna have to be very careful. I'll have to take this now so I don't get bombarded by this crossbowman later. One biologist's complex herbal concoctions have proved to be powerful digestive aids. Pilgrims gather at their doorstep seeking relief from a variety of unusual ailments. I say we test the concoction's effects. Doesn't really get us a turn closer towards completing architecture, but I'm happy to get more science, at least. Supported? It would only make sense given how much influence I have. I was thinking about befriending Ava, but Trung Trak is already en route to becoming Caesarean, so rather not make matters any worse between us, even though we're neutral. I'll get an armorer right down over the garden. Another hidden fortress right over here. War production and science. At least there's that. That's 3 more treasure points for me. How far am I along the path? Okay, so only 3 more treasure fleet points until I reach the first milestone, and with this treasure convoy, it will provide just that. Now we're entering a celebration once again, and it will be for plus 20% gold for 10 turns. Definitely gonna be needing that for if anything valuable were to come up. I think I am going to do... I think I'm gonna do levies. Plus 25% gold towards purchasing military units, and minus 1 gold maintenance for units per turn. Okay, my missionary has arrived in Tarnovo. Might as well go ahead and convert it to Orthodoxy while it's not following anything. And the missionary can next go towards Plovdiv to convert it before anyone else does. Preslav can go ahead and do a research... Cultural Festival is what it's called. I may want to set up the same for Roma after its armorer is complete. It says it's going to take 6 turns, but I'm not sure how many turns it's really going to take once it's underway. Given that it is producing an armorer and it's going to provide a lot of production towards completing things. Oh hey. I'm getting a look at some more ruins. Let's go towards these ruins and see what it's about. An overgrown temple has become the sanctuary for a rare breed of hawk. The wealthy elite offer fortunes for pets of such plumage. The ultimate status symbol, kings of the sky chained to a cage. Let's breed the birds. Hopefully that'll complete our next Bulgarian unique civic. It did not complete it. Oh, well, it's only 1 turn, so it's not that big a deal. Okay, that's both the tech and civic completed. I think one of my Yeah, it was my privateer from down there, was it? Ah, dang. With how much luck I'm getting with these treasure convoys, I think it would be nice if I were to... No, I've got to keep the main focus on capturing other leaders' settlements in distant lands a priority. Zenith. Visitors to the Bulgarian Empire admire the beauty of its cities and the artistry of its inhabitants. Yet they watch parading soldiers with a twinge of fear, aware that their kingdom may be the next to fall to these bold forces. Okay, let's see how far I'm at along the expansionist and militaristic trees. I don't have a single attribute unlocked. I am a little ways towards the bottom of the militaristic tree, though. I think what I'm gonna do is say Bulgaria's pride lies in its military for a militaristic attribute point. And I'm gonna put it towards ignoring the happiness penalty from unrest in captured settlements. That is going to make me a little more happy about capturing any of the opposing leaders' settlements that I plan to take over. Meanwhile, I can do architecture too for another relic, and let's do Tarnovo School's Mastery for yet another one. Okay, there's our 2 migrants in Preslav, and I think I'm gonna have them head towards Plovdiv to get its population even further up, so I'll be more comfortable about converting it into a city. How much does it cost to convert Plovdiv into a city now? Only 1,700 gold. Still could be lower. Preslav. You can do another cultural festival. Architecture is about to be mastered. But I've got a shipwreck to go look at first. An unusual number of ships have disappeared in this region. One explorer believes the phenomenon should be studied. Merchants would rather avoid the area to alleviate trade disruptions. I take 50 damage when investigating the phenomenon, but hopefully it will get architecture mastered. Oh, just barely not there. But it did advance Tarnovo School's mastery by a fair amount. As explorers learn ever more about the natural order, they realize how much more they have yet to learn. Yeah, obviously. Tarnovo Schools and Architecture have both been mastered, and I think this is where I am going to end off this part. I'm a bit disappointed that I wasn't able to denounce Xerxes, and that Hastings is just a 2-tile wide island. Still, I don't think I should give up hope yet. There's still all this space right here on the map that I could explore for more distant lands islands, and in turn, more opportunities to find settlements from other leaders to take over. I'm gonna have to do what I can to upgrade Plovdiv into a city so I can get a wharf and a shipyard within its borders. But until I have a plan on how to do that, aside from these 2 migrants heading towards it, thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.